As someone's definitely readied up early, I've just realised. As we will have the 5 red lights on here as Zampa is an asshole. And they're away as Stephen Beecham will lead us away. Zampa's got an awful start because he's too busy playing the coffin dance. Sound alert in the chat, and Zampa's dropping down all the way to P5. And contact with Ollie Bean, who's caught the front of Gunnar as well. And Zampa too focused on his phone and not about the start of the race, and he's lost multiple positions off the start here. Meanwhile, Dubsy in behind Ollie Bean battling with Gunnar as Page has left the session, and oh my lord, D Summers is absolutely murdered at turn 3. Not quite sure what's happened there, but D Summers mega contact at turn 3. Meanwhile, Brazilian Jeff battling with Dubsy now round the outside as Ty Clears dropped down all the way to P11. What's happened, Ty? Did Ty have a coming together with D Summers? Was he involved in that carnage? As Brazilian Jeff battles along with Dubsy as they head through the middle sector here side by side, and still they go. Dubsy just about keeping it ahead. Zampa, who did start from P2. On Crimson, a big dive on TJ. And that's opened the door to Zampa. TJ really far off the track. Zampa now gets into P2. And Zampa has reclaimed P2. After a bit of carnage here, Infrajack all the way to P4. What a race so far from Infrajack. If you have a look at the positions gained, Infrajack up 4, or up 7 into P4 on these hard tyres. Mega racing so far from Infrajack. But Gunnar now dropped off the back of TJ's. TJ now looking on the inside of Infrajack. And TJ getting on through into the penultimate corner. After losing P2 now, Zampa looking on the rear. Stephen in the battle for the lead, and now the Williams driver takes the lead of the race here. Have to try and avoid warnings in Austria. They can be very costly now. Zampa on the inside of Stephen. Side by side they go through turn 3. Crimson battling with TJ as well. Crimson appears to have gotten through on TJ, and now Crimson looking to get back through on Stephen, as Stephen in a drag race down to turn 4 alongside Zampa. Stephen trying to find a way round the outside, keeps it round the outside, still looking on the rear. And Co continue to battle. That could allow the likes of Ollie Bean to get back through again. Meanwhile, Ollie Bean looking on the inside of the penultimate corner. Not the ideal place you want to be going for moves, but Infrajack may be struggling up the hill as Stephen Beecham has lost DRS now to Zampa. Stephen with a mistake of sorts. Potentially out of the final corner as Crimson washes out wide. He's got no DRS. That'll allow Stephen back through again, but Zampa now into the lead of the race has broke DRS now. Can Zampa use this opportunity to escape down the road now as Ollie Bean losing out to Infrajack, and Stephen on the rear. TJ going to try and find his way through as well. TJ going to try and get through on Stephen, who did lead the race at a point, but now losing out now, and Stephen battling with the Alpine, dives at super late contact with the Alpine and TJ. They've got Sci-Fi battling with the Brazilian Jeff, and Jeff getting ahead of Sci-Fi with a lovely switchback. My lord, what a switchback there from the South African, as Dubsy battling with Gunnar. Ty Clear now getting through on Gunnar as well. Side by side they go in a charge down to turn 4. Ferrari and the Cyber go side by side as Ollie Bean picks up a Ty Belly, and Ty Clear with damage. Championship leader with damage after rolling into the rear of Dubsy. And that could be mega for the championship here. Even though Stephen not having the ideal race, his championship rivals having an even bigger struggle here. And could Dubsy see an opening? Ollie Bean, Infrajack, Gunnar, all with time penalties as the McLaren of Dub doesn't know where to go. He's a late send on the Williams, and a beautiful send there from the McLaren as Ollie Bean looks for a way back through again on the McLaren, and Ollie Bean back through again. Meanwhile, Ty in the P. Oh, it's Dubsy back on the inside of the Mercedes. Side by side they go, battling and battling. They head through turn 4, but Dub gets ahead now. A tumultuous race so far. And Ollie being going to look on the inside of Factory down into turn 1. Not an ideal place to be going for a move. And Ollie Bean and Factory both leave the circuit there under contact, which may invite Ty clear through, and Ty through on Factory now. And can he get through on Ollie Bean as well? It could be massive for Crimson's race now. Dub, can he protect against the Ferrari, who's now looking on the inside? Dub trying to battle with the Ferrari, goes defensive to the inside. Stephen very late on the brakes. Round the outside is the Ferrari. Mega move from Stephen, but he washes it wide under the gravel. And that's exactly what Crimson needed. Stephen now stuck behind Dub. But TJ now back on the rear of Stephen. Stephen battling with the Alpine. The Alpine sends it on the inside. Stephen round the outside. Battling with the Alpine. It's a drag race now. Down out of turn 4 through turn 5. Side by side they go, and Stephen outbreaks the Alpine. The Alpine though round the outside. Soars round the outside. Just found impeccable grip, and the Alpine gets through. Disappear off in the road as Dubsy now in the rear of Ayub. Gonna look on the inside of the V-Carb. Dub now on the inside, as there's a bit of a wheel bang between the McLaren and the V-Carb. And Ayub side by side with Dub as they charge down to turn 4. But does the V-Carb have greater straight line speed? It does appear that he has. Ayub keeps it ahead of Dubsy as Gunner's retired in the pit lane. An unfortunate race for Gunner, as Dubsy actually going to let through Stephen Beecham now. It's a surprising thing to see now, considering Stephen's on a lap fresher tyres than Crimson and is very much in the battle for victory here. Dub could have done a job to help his teammate here, as Abe washes out wide, picks up another time penalty here. But Stephen now, can he get inside DRS range? As TJ on the outside of Crimson may look for the switchback as Crimson goes a little deep, opens the door to TJ now out of turn 4, as we're getting horrible camera angles. But through turn 5, can TJ find it around the outside? Can he do it again? What a sensational overtake from TJ. Just, I don't know where he's finding the grip, but he is around the outside. And can he catch Zampa? It seems inevitable, as lap on lap we continue to catch Zampa. And I did mention the 2 stops normally quicker, and the delta's now at 6.3 to Zampa. And Zampa spun at the final corner. Oh, I don't believe it. Zampa has spun at the final corner, and that is the win gone for Zampa. Should have gone for the 2 stop, and Crimson now back on the inside of Stephen Beecham. And Stephen round the outside, and Stephen could still get the win here. It is still on the cards, but they will lose pace at a point, as Crimson out down the inside of Stephen. And these two are battling far too hard for no reason. They're costing themselves massively here. I think Crimson's more worried about holding up Stephen, if anything. As he looks to defend the inside, Stephen looks on the outside of Zampa, trying to find the grip now. Zampa can't find any grip on the inside. They're losing the rear, and now may be a sitting duck for Crimson as well, and Crimson gets right on through on Zampa. And TJ and the Alpine, for the 2nd time this season, will win in WHF Tier 2, and TJ with that may even close the championship leader here, as Stephen finishes P2 and Crimson finishes P4 behind Zampa, who picks up his 2nd podium of the season, as Ty Clare picks up a P5. And Ty, more of a race of damage limitation there, not having the ideal start at all. Meanwhile, Ollie been battling with Abe, who are both looking at a P6 and P7, which I think might be their 2 best results of the season. As D Summers loses out to Infrajack on these very worn hards. I wonder, it kind of seems like he may have a puncture here, but look at the definition on those tyres. They are gone beyond belief. But D Summers does get ahead of Infrajack, and Sci-Fi crosses the line and may even get ahead of Infrajack as well. And there you have it, TJ wins for the second time this season, starting to close to the championship leader, as Stephen Beecham will take the championship lead here ahead of Ty Clear, as Zampa does finish on the podium but will be ruining that missed opportunity at a potential first win of the season for himself. And as we look at the standings, Stephen Beecham now leads the championship by 2 points to TJ, then it's 2 points to Ty Clear, all to play for. Still Crimson just 11 points behind Ty. Still a lot can happen as we head next time out to Japan. If you have enjoyed, please drop a follow, like and subscribe, and send this to your nan. Thank you all for watching. I've been WHF and we'll see you all in Japan.